Welcome to today's session. This is Healthy Diets for Africa, Agribusiness Accelerator Program teaching event. My name is Benedict Isiao. I'm your host today, and having a conversation Manyange, who is the operations lead at Nyakazi Organics. So we will dive straight into it, introduce Nyakazi Organics, and while doing that, you can take us back on what led to Nyakazi Organic come into operation.
Thank you, Benedict, for this opportunity. Once again, I'm Masi Manyange, the operations lead at Nyakazi Organics. Our idea of drying vegetables came through when we were able to identify a market gap whereby the farmers do not have a proper market
You are
access of
breaking.
their agroecology. I'm breaking.
Yes.
Here for us, we had partnered with an NGO called Seed Savers Network, whereby it does training on agroecology farming. And we realized that the farmers within that network were not able to access proper markets of the indigenous vegetables, since in the marketplaces we are having a lot of stiff competition, and the post-harvest losses led to us partner with the organization so that we can curb that gap of post-harvest losses and market access of organic vegetables to farmers. So our idea started back in 2023, that is in May, where we started our operations. And we have been working with the farmers who are practicing agroecology within Nakuru, Kakamega, and Vihiga counties. They are the ones who have been our suppliers of the organic vegetables, which we purchase from them, and therefore we solar dry the vegetables.
Among the three challenges that you have mentioned, which one is the most superior challenge, if I can say it that way, that you are looking at solving in terms of the underutilized or indigenous vegetables?
First of all, like I can say, we have the two most pressing challenges, one being the post-harvest losses being experienced by the farmers, and the other one is the consumers' needs, whereby we want to ensure that we are giving healthy vegetables to the consumers, and also ensure that we are able to preserve our traditional heritage by providing the African indigenous vegetables to the consumers.
Okay. Looking at curbing the challenge of post-harvest losses, what is your experience in that, in terms of any success? And
Okay. Part of our success in reducing the post-harvest losses, in the beginning where we had started that, most of the farmers had not brought in that idea whereby they can bring the vegetables to us, and for us we do the value addition. But as time went by and we proceeded with the farmers, we see more farmers coming in and bringing their vegetables, which we have been able to process over 15 tons since we started the drying of the vegetables, and more farmers have been coming in to supply us with the vegetables. Since we have also conducted some focus group discussions to also identify whether the farmers are feeling an impact of them bringing vegetables to Nyakazi Organics. And some of the things that they were able to highlight is that when they were going to the marketplaces, like the local open air markets, when they went there, at times they might find maybe the rains are coming and they have not yet sold all of the vegetables that they have been having. So you find most of the vegetables can be left to spoil in the markets, and some other customers who are purchasing them and not paying them the full amount. That is, they were taking the vegetables in debt. But when they bring them to Nyakazi Organics, they are promised of their pay for the dried vegetables, which we pay our farmers on weekly basis. Yes.
Yes, you have mentioned about value addition. What is this value addition innovation that you have at Nyakazi?
Okay, our value addition innovation through the first to dry the vegetables, whereby they are having processes they undergo before they get into the dryer. At first, we first have to weigh the vegetables to see that the quantities that we had requested from the farmers is what they had brought because of logistic purposes. Then we are able to sort the vegetables, whereby we separate the stalks from the leaves, but we not only dispose those stalks. The stalks are therefore composted to be later used as manure in the farm. And the vegetable leaves, we clean them and take them for a process called blanching, whereby it enables the vegetables to retain the flavor and also some enzymes. We are able to kill some enzymes in the process. Therefore, we do a process called cooling, so that it can stop the cooking reaction and also enable the vegetables not to decolorize. Then we take our vegetables to our local solar dryer, which is just made with the normal clear paper, which is UV treated, so that it protects the direct sun rays into getting to the vegetables. Then thereafter, after the vegetables are fully dried, we package them for ourselves. Then they are ready to go to the market.
Having been trained in this program, the HD4A Accelerator, Agribusiness Accelerator program, on branding and marketing. So, how can you rate your on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of your branding and packaging? And what informs your packaging?
First of all, our packagings are food grade. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I can rate ourselves as maybe 8, since we can't say that maybe we are so perfect, since the packaging papers are not easily biodegradable. So I can rate ourselves at 8, but the packagings, they are very well branded. Even the comments from our customer side, they tell us that our packaging is so well. Yes.
And how has it influenced you at Nyakazi to stand out or to gain market entry?
But first of all, our unique selling point is that the vegetables that we are producing are agroecologically grown, compared to our competitors who maybe they are having farmers who are also doing organic, others are also doing the synthetic farming. First of all, our products stand out since we are producing organic vegetables only. Yeah, that helps us to stand out in the market.
Talking of market, what is the demand for dried vegetables?
Yeah. Okay, I really understand that point. Since that, even maybe I can use an example in Nakuru, most of the people are able to find the fresh vegetables. So us selling the dried vegetables, it's not, the demand is not that high. But what we are doing, we are trying to do like consumer education, so that we are able to tell the consumers that even the same taste with the fresh vegetables is the same taste that you can be able to get from the dried vegetables. And another thing, these fresh vegetables at times are seasonal, and for the dried vegetables, you can find them all year round. So for instance, when it's during the dry season, you will find that even if it's the managu, you can even purchase managu maybe for 150 shillings for you to be able to satisfy your family, depending on the number of how many members are in your family. So, and even with the dried vegetables, which we are selling at 200 shillings, we see it as something worth to what the consumers might be needing. But another thing is that we as Nyakazi, when we are starting this idea, we were targeting like the urban dwellers, people like who are living in Nairobi with maybe middle to high income, so that they are the ones who can be able to purchase the dried vegetables. And even the travelers who are traveling abroad, we have been having customers who have bought our dried vegetables who have been in Australia. So they've come at least twice. So we see there is need for some people to purchase these dried vegetables. Yeah.
Okay, you work with the farmers, and you have mentioned that one of the activities you do is training them. Also, you have mentioned that you train the consumers. So, what approaches do you use to conduct these trainings? How many trainings have you been able to do so far since you started?
Okay, as I mentioned earlier, like Nyakazi Organics has partnered with an NGO, the Seed Savers Network. So the NGO is the one that does trainings to farmers on agroecology farming. Then we as Nyakazi, we use the farmers within the network who are doing the agroecology farming to become part of our suppliers. But also on our end, the Seed Savers has really had several workshops whereby they are able to train farmers, and they also go to the community to train more other farmers within their groups. So we are using those groups who are growing the organic vegetables, they bring them to Nyakazi Organics. But on our end, whenever we've had opportunities to do like exhibitions, that is where we see it as an opportunity for us to be able to tell the consumers about the dried vegetables, how they taste, and even the benefits. And also, whenever the farmers come to trainings within that Seed Savers network, they also pass by Nyakazi and they are able to learn on the processes and everything about the dried vegetables.
So, how have you validated your solution to meet uh, your target market?
Okay. First, we as Nyakazi, we are one of the consumers of the dried vegetables. Then, whenever we've sold a packet of the dried vegetables to the consumers, we give them time. We do follow up to hear from them on how the dried vegetables was to them in terms of tasting. Were they able to cook? And also something else, we have been able to take our dried vegetables to the lab, which we are awaiting for the results to come out to see whether it's able to meet the nutritional values that is required for the dried vegetables. But from the consumer side, they have been able to give us the positive feedback of how our dried vegetables are in terms of the taste, even the smell, and they have been able to cook whatever we are telling them. Like one packaging of our 50 grams is able to serve three people at your home, and we have really gotten that feedback. So that is the one that has been helping us to move forward and know that we are doing the correct work.
Uh, Allow me to move to the next question, which will be you have been part of the Healthy Diets for Africa Agribusiness Accelerator program. So, how do you see your innovation contributing to Healthy Diets for Africa objectives of promoting nutritious and sustainable diets from the underutilized food crops?
Okay, thank you. For us, first of all, what inspired us to even apply for the healthy diets for Africa is that Nyakazi Organics looks to how the consumers will be able to get healthy foods in terms of the indigenous vegetables, which we understand that not all parts of our country are able to grow the indigenous vegetables. And with drying these vegetables is one thing contributing to sustainability, since the dried vegetables are able to stay for a long period, that is for like 15 months when they are dried. And people even living in the northern areas or dried regions in our country can be able to access these vegetables. They are easily portable, so they cannot spoil on the way, since they are dried. So we and the HD4A, we see that we can have some partnership, because they are also promoting healthy diets, and Nyakazi Organics is also having the same campaigns on healthy eating. Yeah.
Looking at your product having a longer shelf life, have you been able to hack the supply chain to those areas that these vegetables are not produced there because of the climatic conditions and also maybe the cultural beliefs?
Okay. Currently, as I can say, we have not been able to reach the northern parts, but it's part of our target markets, which we are looking onto in the future, that if we are able to get some support, because logistics sometimes it's an issue to us, but we are working on how we can be able to make our products reach the the Kakuma camps, Dadaab, those areas. You find shops where they are able to sell the foods for maybe the refugees. So it's something that we are looking forward on to be able to enter those markets, but currently we have not yet gone there.
How do you get to reach to your potential consumers or customers?
We are not only targeting the counties that are producing for us the vegetables. We are targeting like the whole country, Kenya. So for the farmers in Vihiga, Kakamega, and Nakuru are suppliers, but also they are part of our consumers. But in one way whereby the people are able to know about Nyakazi, we already have an existing website. We do digital marketing in Facebook, in Instagram, and that is where people have been able to know about us for the past 2 years that we've been in operation. Something else, there was a time that we also went on radio called Radio Yetu here in Nakuru, and also discussed about the Nyakazi Organics. Something else, early this year, we also had an opportunity with support from the Seed Savers Network. We have this program on Citizen TV called Kenyans Gold, and we were also able to give what Nyakazi does at Kenyans Gold. So we've been doing some sensitizations and marketing, and people have been able to know about Nyakazi Organics, though we have not yet reached like the growth stage that we would want to be. Yeah.
How you are working with a team at your enterprise, and how are you making sure that your team dynamics are consolidated together to make sure that you are operating sustainably and you are able to meet your goals and satisfy your customers? You mentioned that you have been in operations for about 2 years, and you have been part of several accelerator programs from Seed Savers Network. Also, now you have been part of Healthy Diets for Africa Agribusiness Accelerator program, and we did some trainings on business registration and certification. So, is Nyakazi Organics currently certified and registered? And what are some of the bottlenecks that you have been experiencing in this process of registration?
Okay, Nyakazi Organics is registered. We have our certificate of incorporation, but the dried vegetables we have not yet been certified because we had some challenges in terms of the processes for certification. We were not able to meet the required standard, but we have already sent another batch to the Kenya Bureau of Standards, the KEBS, to see whether after us improving on the areas they had mentioned in terms of our solar dryer, it had needed some little modifications, which we had brought a solar dryer consultant, and he helped us in terms of the aeration, and we were able to rectify that. So we have sent another batch, hoping that this time round we will be able to be fully certified.
In terms of sustainability, uh, how do you how does your innovation ensure environmental sustainability, and also in terms of your operations, economic sustainability in production and distribution of the underutilized indigenous vegetables that you are producing at your enterprise?
Thank you. In terms of environmental sustainability, Nyakazi Organics works with the agroecology farmers, so we ensure that their processes in terms of farming the vegetables is chemical free, so there are no any emissions from the farm. And on our end, in terms of production, when we are using the solar dryer, so the solar dryer doesn't have any energy, so it doesn't use anything. We are only relying on the natural sunlight, so we can say that we are environmental sustainable since there are no carbon emissions from the solar dryer. Another thing, we are also trying to do an agri-circularity business model whereby we compost the stalks from the vegetables to be used as manure. And also another thing, the water that we use to clean the vegetables, it is directed in a manner that it is able to go back to the farm, so that it's also can be used as part of irrigation in the farm. Then something else, our production processes, the casuals that we hire people whom already they have already understood the task of sorting those vegetables. So we see the quantities that we are having for the vegetables is the one that will determine the number of casuals that we will hire, so that we ensure that we don't incur too much cost in the production process, since it's additionally, as Nyakazi, we also help the casuals to do the sorting process, so that we also cut some bit of the costs from production. Maybe if I've missed something, there was another question also on the sustainability. Maybe you can remind me kindly.
Yeah, it was like, how are you ensuring your operation sustainability in terms of production and distribution of your end products to consumers?
I'm saying, in terms of a customer who is not within Nakuru or per se Gilgil, where we are in, who is not maybe to walk into Nyakazi, whenever they are able to cater for their delivery charges. So for that, we cut our cost on that. But also, another thing, when maybe we have gotten an exhibition, we are able to support maybe one of our staff from Nyakazi to go and exhibit our product. So it's part of the distribution channel that we are using. So we try to minimize our costs in that way, since we have not really grown that we are able to support both of us to be going for the different events. But also some of our customers can also drive to Nyakazi, come pick their vegetables. That is, if they are within Nakuru, or maybe they are passing by to go to Nairobi, or they are different destinations. Some of them pass by, but those who don't pass by, they cater for their deliveries.
Yes, so can you classify your business model as efficient and profitable as at now?
Yeah, as at now, we can say that this is a profitable business, and it is promising in future if we realign ourselves very well, and if we are also able to get the certifications from the KEBS. We also tried to enter into the supermarkets. Like, ourselves have been able to do marketing at Naivas, but the hindrance has only been the certification. So if we are able to get certification, we are sure of our products moving to different market segments. But maybe in the first year, that is when we were able to make a loss, because we had a lot of expenditures trying to settle one or two things inside in terms of maybe equipment that we were requiring, the packagings and all that. But we can see it's a promising business, which will be profitable.
Yes, and having been in operation, what are your main revenue streams that we are having in the country? And recently, of course, we have been also having some bottlenecks in terms of donor funding accessibility. How are you maneuvering such? First, your revenue streams, and now accessing more funding to expand.
Okay. Our major revenue streams for Nyakazi Organics is we rely on the sales of our dried products. Another thing is, whenever people have come to visit our enterprise, we also charge them, so that it can also help us to boost our revenues. Since you might be, yes, there are more applications, but at times we are not able to like go through them, since some require more years of operations, which we don't have. And maybe also capacity building is also needed at our enterprise to also help us be able to access more funding out there.
So, having undergone through these trainings, can you say that what can you say has improved in terms of now being able to be well positioned to access more funding?
Something like what I can say in terms of record keeping, on how to also balance our finances, we have really improved on that. And even marketing as well was also another challenge. So with the training that we have undergone in this program has also helped us to do like maybe more marketing on our social media platforms, to see that we are able to reach maybe a wide range of consumers, are able to know about Nyakazi. Even if they won't purchase at the same time, they might be our future potential customers.
Yes. Now, where do you see Nyakazi in 1 year's time, and 4 years' time, in terms of the capacity of your production, and now ironing out the challenges that you have to ensure that you are expanding?
Okay. Nyakazi Organics, we have been seeing like even our revenues have been slightly growing, increasing in terms of our revenues since we started. So in the next year, we are also seeing ourselves that we might have doubled our revenue through more sales of the Nyakazi Organics products. Since as time goes by, we are able to meet different people, different customers, different programs, and even within those programs, we can be able to get customers within the program. So Nyakazi Organics is something that is future promising. And another thing, we are also looking onto maybe expanding, like introducing more products into the business. Like now we already started with the mushrooms. We are also drying mushrooms, the oyster mushrooms. So we had farmers who also are trained about on how to produce the oyster mushrooms. It's something else that we have added into our product line. So having maybe more different products can also help us to generate more revenues in the future.
You are in value addition, and how are you looking at expanding this?
Okay, we still want to stick on our line of value addition. So we are continuing to also do research on, like, product development research on what other products we can introduce, which will be in line with what we are doing, the healthy eating, the sustainability part of it. Yes. So it's something that we have not yet fully, like, finished. So we are still doing more research.
Uh,
Okay. When we started Nyakazi, the first year we were able to raise 350,000. Then the second year, which is last year, we saw our revenues were at 550. So in these years, we are looking forward on reaching about 700,000. But by the next year, which will be 2026, if things continue on so well, we are looking to have maybe 1 million sales as per se. So we as Nyakazi Organics, if we are able to get support for like 5,000 USD, will help us to do more marketing, reach the dried regions that we are also targeting, and also help us maybe purchase more equipments like a moisture meter to also ensure that our dried vegetables are meeting the required standards.
okay, thank you. As we come to the end of this conversation, what advice will you give to upcoming young women farmers who want to make impact in the food system?
Okay. What I'd say, maybe they start small, they think big, and maybe they don't have like the too much expectations. You know, when someone is entering the business space, there are some of the expectations that a person has. Maybe in 1 year's time, they will have grown. So they be ready to be corrected. Join maybe some of these programs whenever they see some of these accelerator programs, be it mentorship, as much as maybe they might be having funding or not, they like be ready to listen to them. Yeah.
Yes, thank you for taking your time to join this session. Uh, it has been pleasure having you on board, sharing your story, your expertise, and the solutions that you have in the food systems. And I believe you are on the trajectory of growth, and our audience are going to like this conversation, and we hope it will be fruitful as we are foreseeing it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you also, Benedict, for the time, for the opportunity for us to participate in the HD4A. We've really gathered insights which have also helped us improve. So we are also looking forward to be part of the people who will be among the best in this program. Yeah. Thank you.